Vermont is one of those places that feels like a hidden gem, yet it draws in over 13 million visitors every year. Known for its breathtaking fall foliage, world-class skiing, and charming towns, it's a destination that people visit year-round. So instead of flying, we actually decided to drive up to Vermont from Connecticut, and that's for two good reasons. The first thing is that flights from JFK, New York to Burlington, which is the largest and the busiest airport of Vermont, cost you about $200 to $300, which we felt was unnecessary at the moment. And the second reason is that Vermont's scenic highways are stunning, and we wanted to take our time and make stops along the way and enjoy the journey. We took Interstate 91 North, which is one of the most scenic highways in New England, and the total drive from Connecticut to Vermont is around 150 to 200 miles and depends on where you start and takes about 3 to 4 hours. It's a perfect balance and long enough to feel like a little adventure, but short enough that you're not stuck in your car all day. Before starting the drive, we made a quick stop at a local cafe to pick up some coffee and snacks, just something simple to have on hand for the trip, and it was a nice way to ease into the morning before getting on the road. With everything set, we got back in the car and started the drive. About 2 hours into the drive, we crossed into Vermont and made the stop at the Vermont Welcome Center, and this place is more than just a quick rest stop. It's a full visitor center staffed with travel experts who provide information on where to stay, eat, and explore.
This is probably the prettiest rest area ever. Oh, thank you. Morning.
Hey.
Good morning.
But what really makes it stand out is the atmosphere. Inside, there are displays on Vermont's history, nature, and local products, almost like a mini museum that gives you a taste of what the state is all about. Outside, there's plenty of space to stretch your legs, and they also have picnic tables and even dog walking areas, which is something you don't see at your average rest stop. And if you're traveling with kids, this is a great place to let them play while you take a break. They also offer free Wi-Fi, payphones, and vending machines and soda bars, which makes it super convenient for travelers. After a quick break at the Vermont Welcome Center, we were back on road, and from here the drive became even more scenic. The further north we went, the more the landscape changed from rolling hills to winding roads and endless greenery. It was the kind of drive that makes you want to slow down and roll down your windows and just take it all in. After we reached Vermont, our first stop was the Stowe Mountain Resort to do the Gondola SkyRide, and this is a must-do if you're visiting Vermont. We booked our Gondola SkyRide tickets online through the official Stowe Mountain Resort website, and I definitely recommend doing the same. Checking the website before booking is important because operating times can change due to the weather conditions, and having your ticket in advance makes the process smoother. Even with the pre-booked tickets, you still need to go to the counter when you arrive and you show your digital ticket, and then they'll give you the physical one. So while you don't skip the line completely, it does save you the hassle of purchasing a ticket on the spot. Most people there have already booked online, so everyone still needs to go through this step before getting in the line for the actual gondola ride. We got the lift tickets, which allow a round trip ride, meaning you take the gondola up, spend as much time as you want at the summit, and take the ride back down when you're ready. As far as I know, you can use the ticket any time of the day, but I would recommend checking the website for any specific time restrictions or changes, and I'll link the website in the description. Since the lines get pretty long, especially on weekends or during peak seasons, I would suggest arriving early to make the most of your trip. The gondola takes about 8 minutes to reach the summit, and the whole trip was so amazing that we literally got lost in the views. When you reach the summit, you have a spacious viewing area with wooden platforms and benches where you can just sit and take it all in, and there are informational signs pointing out to different peaks and landmarks, which makes it even more fun to explore. There is a gift shop at the summit which is stocked with all kinds of Vermont themed souvenirs, apparels, and local products. If you want to take home a little piece of the experience, this is a place to grab something unique. Even with other visitors around, there is this calm, almost surreal quietness to this place, and just the sound of wind and the occasional murmur of conversations and the breathtaking views stretching in every direction. We spent some time there wandering around and snapping photos and just enjoying the experience before deciding to head back down. Like I said, since we had the lift ticket, we could take the back whenever we were ready, and it gave us plenty of time to soak in the moment and walk around. Some visitors decide to take the gondola up, and then instead of taking the gondola down, they hike back down, turning it into a full day adventure. The ride back down was just stunning and giving us a whole new perspective as we glided over the trees with ski trails and valleys unfolding beneath us. It was a perfect way to start our Vermont adventure, and definitely a stop worth making if you're ever in this area. It was around sunset time when we headed back from the summit, and we were ready to eat, but if I'm being honest, we hadn't planned where to go or eat, so we just drove around hoping to find a good spot. After about 10 minutes into the drive, we spotted a cozy, inviting restaurant.
Hey, what is that? What is that? What is the name of this place? That's the pizza place, Picasso. There we go. We got it. Jeez.
So much.
They're known for their New York style pizza, so we figured it was a solid choice, and the menu had a mix of classic and creative pizzas along with pasta, salads, and a good selection of Vermont craft beer. We waited for a bit because we wanted a table outside in the patio, because as you can see, it was so beautiful, and because it was sunset time, it was like the perfect golden hour dinner. The food was great, the service was very friendly, and it turned out to be the perfect spot to end the night. If you're in Stowe and craving pizza, Picasso is definitely worth checking out. dinner at the Picasso, we headed to our stay for the night, which was the Talta Lodge Bluebird by Lark. It was just a 3 minutes drive down the same mountain road that's the Route 108, and it was just about a mile away. The check-in was quick and we booked the deluxe king bedroom, which came up to $515 in total, including taxes and resort fees, and we split the cost. This lodge had a spacious lobby with a cozy seating area. There was an indoor heated pool, which we did not use because we were too tired. There was also a game room with ping pong and other activities, and it sat right along the river, which made for a perfect peaceful setting. The location was great too because it was just only 5 miles from downtown Stowe, so it was just so easy to get around. We were actually pretty tired from the day, so we didn't take any pictures. I apologize for that, but after freshening up, we decided to head out for one last stop. That's the Cork, a wine tasting spot in downtown Stowe. It was an 8-minute drive from the lodge, and they had a nice selection of natural wines along with the small menu of local food. It was a laid-back place, perfect for winding down after a busy day. After having a relaxing time, we headed back to the lodge and called it a night. It's officially the next day, and we walked around the lodge and took some cool pictures and then headed straight to the Stowe Community Church. This church is one of the most photographed spots in Vermont, and you can see it all over Instagram. It's known for its classic look and a scenic mountain backdrop, which churches usually don't have. There's a parking area right nearby, so it's easy to stop and take pictures and admire the view. We hadn't had our breakfast yet, so we decided to walk to the Stowe Village, which was right there, and checked out some of the local shops before heading to the Black Cap Coffee and Bakery for breakfast. They're known for their maple latte, fresh pastries, and good selection of locally roasted coffee. This place had a nice, relaxed vibe with both indoor and outdoor seating. I will caution you that the Black Cap coffee is pretty famous there, and there is a big line for you to get to the counter, so if you reach early, you are in luck. Day 2 was literally our last day in Vermont because this was a weekend trip and it was time to start heading back home, and before leaving, we decided to make a final stop at Ben & Jerry's factory in Waterbury, Vermont, one of the most popular attractions in the state. Ben & Jerry's was founded in 1978 by Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield, and over the years it has become one of the most well-known ice cream brands in the world. The factory offers a 30-minute guided tour where you can learn about the company's history, see how their ice cream is made, and even sample some flavors. One of the most interesting parts of the visit was the flavor graveyard located on a small hill behind the factory. This is where Ben & Jerry's paid tribute to discontinued flavors with actual headstones describing each retired flavor. It's a quirky, fun stop that adds to the whole experience. After enjoying some ice cream and walking around the factory, we got back on the road, officially ending our weekend trip to Vermont. It was a short but memorable getaway, and we're gonna come back here to explore more because we loved the great views, good food, and there are plenty of places worth revisiting in the future. If you've ever been to Vermont on a weekend trip, I would love to know what are the places that you guys visited when you were there so we can do that next time we go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.